is nScreenNoise. My name is Colin Dixon, founder and chief analyst at nScreen Media, and today is October 24th, 2019. Well, Limelight Networks released its the State of Online Video 2019 this morning, and it basically sampled 500 people, each from 9 countries, including Asian countries like South Korea and Singapore, as well as European countries, Germany, France, the UK, and of course the US. So I'm going to talk about 3 points that really stood out for me in that data this morning, and you can actually find a link from the nScreen website where this video is posted to download that report yourself. So anyway, the first point I wanted to make was the time spent watching TV, that's regular broadcast TV and cable, and online video is reported by survey participants as being almost identical. So the average hours, for example, watched on OTT by people in the US was 8.55, and on traditional television, well, that was just 8.67, just a tad above. In the UK, 6.49 hours was spent watching OTT and 8 hours was watching traditional. Now in Singapore, it was actually upside down. OTT watching 7.6 hours versus traditional 5.7. Now these are pretty different numbers than you are probably used to hearing from somebody like Nielsen, and of course Nielsen uses electronic monitoring now to actually calculate pretty exactly. But what this really tells you is what people think they are viewing, so it's a really good indication of the value that they place on that particular source of video, and boy, it looks like from this data that they place as much value on the online video now as they do from video in traditional sources. Now, another really interesting part of the report was binge viewing. It turns out everybody is binge viewing. In all 9 countries, only 18% say they don't binge watch. That's the average across the countries. In some countries like South Korea, only 6% say they don't binge. Most countries, 80% or more say they are binging 2 or more episodes of shows. Now, this is absolutely rampant among the young. I guess this is no big surprise. 93% of 26 to 35-year-olds do it. 92% of 18 to 25-year-olds do it. And even over 60s are doing it. 2/3 of those report that they also binge watch. So this actually makes me think that Disney's decision to release their episodes 1 per week of new stuff, well, this could be a mistake. I think binge viewing now is completely embedded in our psyche, and we get frustrated when we can't do it. So maybe Disney will have to reverse itself there. And most people, well, they're watching for 1 to 3 hours. About 40% said that they were doing that. But get this, 30% say that they watch over 3 hours or more in one sitting when they binge view. So boy, a lot of binge viewing going on, at least according to the Limelight report. Now, we've talked a lot about live latency. There was a lot about that at IBC 2019 and at NAB, and a lot of conversation about it. But how much does it really matter to consumers, and how much is it stopping people from watching online stream sports? Well, according to the Limelight report, 57.7% of people said that they would be more likely to watch live stream sports if that live latency, the difference between the live broadcast and the streaming broadcast of the two, were 0 or very, very small. So that's 57.7%. So that appears to be a big barrier. In India, it was 80% said that they would be more likely to watch, and perhaps we're seeing an effect there for the IPL cricket. That was huge online streaming. 18.6 million people watched simultaneously, setting a new streaming record. So maybe that's having an impact there. Now the lowest number, well, this was this was Japan. Only 44% of Japanese said that they would be more likely to watch. But I gotta tell you, maybe even that's changed, because Japan had a great run in the Rugby World Cup, and they could have watched a lot of those games on streaming platforms. So the bottom line here is latency really does matter to consumers. They do not want to have the unfortunate event happen where they're watching action and they see a tweet and they haven't seen the action yet. So obviously reducing it a lot, latency is very important, but I got to tell you, maybe it doesn't need to be 0 between the live broadcast. How many people can tweet within 10 seconds? Not many, right? So probably between 3 and 5 seconds is a good target. 3 and 8 seconds, something in that region. There is lots more information in this report. If you want to download it, as I say, just come to the nScreen Media website and you'll find this post with this video, and you can click on the link in that post. Hey, and while you're there, why don't you sign up for our newsletter? If this type of information really interests you, boy, you'll be glad that you did. And we'll see you again next time.